Hello boys and girls, welcome back to my YouTube channel PJ Classes. So I hope you all have written your CA exams well for May 22 and also might be eagerly waiting for your results. So I convey my best wishes to all the students who have written the exam. Now in this video I will be quickly analyzing CA Inter EIS-SM paper for May 22. So how was the question paper, whether it was lengthy, short, what type of questions they were, all this I will be answering at the end. First, let us try to see the question paper and also the suggested answers. Now, first I will be focusing on EIS and then we will be focusing on SM, sir. So your first question, which is compulsory question, 5 markers, sir. So presently, the flow of information is at unimaginable high speed for doing any business, and need of information is perceived at various levels of hierarchy, with the objectives in focus defined. Now, most of the time, I do tell to students कि in EIS, it is very difficult for an examiner to give indirect questions. So they try their level best to create paragraphs, create confusion in the brains of students. But sir, if at all you have understood the point, sir, the thing is most of the time, sir, these paras are of no relevance. In fact, if you see the main part, है ना, that itself is the question. So even if I don't read these three lines, it doesn't harm my, what do you say, interpretation of question, sir. So question is simple. We have to define EIS, and second question is we have to also explain what are the categories of business process. So marking was 1 plus 2. So 1 mark was given for EIS and 2 marks was given for categories of business process. Now, again, this is a chapter 1 question, sir. Now, what is EIS? Sir, can I say it is first ek information system? Sir, where it is used? This is used in enterprises, sir. So after EIS, do you think company will have various other applications? Answer is no. So that is what you can see. So EIS may be defined as any kind of information system. Okay, so if at all you can take example as ERP, and ERP could be a best example of EIS. If you are a bank, core banking system could be a best example of EIS. So any kind of information system which improves the functions of an enterprise business process by integration. In other words, sir, this software is going to integrate the entire business process of the company, sir. So it is a central to the organization. Information can be shared with the help of this software, and it is amalgamating all other applications. In other words, integrating, sir. So it integrates various other softwares also, if at all company is having. So after having using this software, company can have only one, which is EIS. So what are the benefits, sir? Again, productivity will increase, your production time will decrease, that is cycle times is going to decrease, sir. Sir, operational efficiency, in other words, less manual work will be there, mostly automated it will be. Sir, cost savings, more number of employees are not required, so that type of savings also you can have, sir. So very simple definition, EIS 1 marker definition it was, sir. So even if you don't write benefits, it's okay. If you write the definition, that is more than enough. Then we have second question, which is talking about categories of business process. Again, this is a chapter 1 question for 2 marks. Now, sir, we have seen that business process can be categorized into three different parts. One is your operational process, which is day-to-day working process we are talking about. Sir, core business process also you can talk about. Sir, then you have supporting business process. They do not add directly value to the customer. They in fact provide support to your operational process, like accounting we have seen, sir. And then you have management process where it is the management who is taking the more important role, sir. So I just quickly show you this from the material also, sir. So you can see operational, these are the core business process to the organization, also you can call as primary process, sir. They are the one who are delivering value to customers, sir. The like purchase process, sales process, etc. Then you have supporting process, they are supporting your main process, so they do not provide value to customers directly, sir. So like HR, accounting, management, etc., sir. Then you have management process. So management process matlab kya, sir? Here management is having more important role to play, sir. So these are the processes which will measure, monitor, control. So three words you have to ensure that it is written in your paper, sir. Measure, monitor, control. What, sir? Measure, monitor, control the business procedures and system. They do not again directly add value to the customer, sir, like your budgeting, internal control process in the company, infrastructure, etc. Sir. Strategic planning. So this was a 2-marker question, sir. Now, where you supposed to describe them also, sir, here, if even if one line if you write, that would have been better, sir. Operational business process, also called as core business process, they are the one which directly add value to customer. Example, you should have written purchase process, sales process. Sir, they do not add directly value to the process that is supporting, you can write, sir, they provide support to your main process. Similarly, management process, they measure, monitor, control, that is business procedures. That is what you are supposed to write, sir. So this was your chapter number 1 question, sir. Then we have second 1b, which is what is an operating system and what are the 4 functions which are performed by operating system. Now again, so this was your chapter number 3rd question, sir. So where we are talking about hardware, software. Here exclusively we are talking about software, sir. So software are of 2 types, as we know, sir. One is operating system software and next is application software, sir. Operating system software also called as system. So here in this software, sir, what is this software doing, sir? Can I say this software provide platform for all other applications, sir? This software will help you in running the hardware itself. If you remember, application software will do every task beyond running the hardware, but this is the software which will help you in running the hardware. When I say running the hardware, that means it helps you in making your what is say devices operational. Device matlab hardware I'm talking about, sir. So you can see, so this is a software which is going to manage your computer hardware. This is acting as an intermediary between whom, sir? Hardware and the user. That is, they are in between man and machine, sir. So they will make your hardware functional. They provide platform to various other applications, correct, Anna? Sir, first we buy the hardware, on that we install the operating system, on that we install the application software. So it is the operating system which is providing platform to whom, sir? Application software. Various examples you can give. So this was your 2-marker question. So maybe Anna, this will fetch you 1 mark, and here they are only asking you to list, they are not asking you to explain. So you were supposed to what is say list any of the 4 functions of operating system. Likewise, in our material, sir, about 8 functions are discussed, sir. In that you can write any 4, sir. So easy wala, sir, logical access security, network capability, है or you can also define those 3 words of management. What are the 3 management? File management, memory management, task management, sir. So in this way, you could have recollected and written the answers. So question number 2a. So that was your mandatory question. Now from here, we will be having next 4 questions in which 3 were supposed to be written, sir. Each question will carry 10 marks. So second question may A is there and second question may B is there, sir. So first question was generally for 6 marks and next question was generally for 4 marks, sir. So this was the pattern which ICI has followed. So 2A, the main business, again, if you can see the length, sir, again, these were all irrelevant. Main question was at the end, sir. So here they are saying list down the various risk. So here they are talking about risk, they are talking about controls in the loans and advance process in the banking system. So banking system, matlab, this is your chapter number 5. So chapter 5 may, if you can recall, there are various business processes which a bank has for which a bank performs, sir. So you have something called CASA process, you have something called mortgage process, sir. What do you say? You have something called treasury process, internet banking process. Also, we have discussed. In that, credit card process also we have seen. In that, one of the process was loans and advances. Now, sir, that loans and advances software, that loans and advances process may, what are the risk, what are the controls? Now for this, I have a detailed video on my YouTube channel, sir. There all the business processes of banks I have explained very detailedly also, you can say. So there you will be finding a shortcut to remember this answer also. But here anyway, I am just providing you the suggested answers so you can see. So what are the risk, what are the controls for the processes relating to loans and advances? So can I say in a bank, they do provide something called loans and advances. Now, sir, that loans and advances business process may, first we have to talk about risk, sir. Now, can I say whenever bank is giving loan to customer, sir, first they will set up one limit. They will set up one limit, sir. So concerned officer has to set up that limit, and that limit we have to put it in the software also. So that limit we have to put it in the software also, sir. So there could be a risk that that credit line setup is not not authorized, so this is not authorized or this is not as per the bank policy. So what should be the control? Uska opposite line you have to write, sir. So we have to ensure that, sir, check the customer is given credit line setup in accordance with the bank policy. And whenever we are assigning the limit, we have to calculate various ratios so that we can assign limits very properly. So this was manual part we are talking about, sir. Now same credit line setup, we have to put it in the core banking system also. So can I say somebody is accessing the software? So here, sir, this credit line setup in CBS is not authorized. Matlab, in the software it is not authorized. So obviously you have to have proper access controls and ensure that this access is given to only authorized persons. Similarly, sir, whenever we are giving loan to the customer, we will create customer master of the customer, sir. So whatever customer master which is created, sir, this is not as per the pre-disbursement certificate which is prepaid by the bank. Now for this you have to have good understanding of the process of loans and advances. That's the reason it is suggestible to watch that video, sir. Okay. Now so here it is not as per the pre-disbursement certificate, so obviously there should be a segregation of duty, sir. We should ensure that the loan is disbursed as per the pre-disbursement certificate, sir, and entries are also made accordingly, sir. Sir, this is after giving the loan, so inaccurate interest is being calculated. So manually if you do, sir, interest calculation on the loans will not be proper. So better, and we define the parameters in the software and let the software do interest calculation automatically. This is the solution. Similarly, credit line setup can be breached, meaning, sir, we have given a credit line setup of 5 crores. Now, there could be a possibility that we could give loan of 6 crores also, sir. So hence, we have to ensure that system that we define parameters very strongly. And whenever we are trying to give more than the credit line setup, system should not accept at all, sir. System should not accept at all, sir. Okay. So transaction cannot be made. It should not be made only. So that way, you have to define the software, sir. Next. Sir, sometimes inaccurate interest can be calculated, that is calculation may error it is, or rate of interest we will be charging low. Okay, so that is also possible. So lower rate of interest, so again this should be done by looking at your bank policy and also in the certificate, sir. Okay, so predefined it should. So very simple question, it was 6 marker. In fact, this was a laddu question which was asked for 6 marks, sir. Next, then we have something called 2B which was asked for 4 marks. Now this was generally unexpected question, sir. Rarely student do expect. Now can I say ERP may you have n number of questions which can be asked, sir. Okay, but generally student would have not expected this. Now this is what ICI is, where unexpectedness is there, there ICI is there, sir. Okay, so let's see. The ERP system is like a human body where there are different units and each unit relates to other units. Great. All the units must work in harmony with other units to decide to generate the desired results. What are the important points for integration of modules with finance and accounting system? Now again, sir, entire black part was irrelevant, sir. Sir, we were supposed to understand that this is ERP, and here we are talking about important points for integration of modules with finance and accounting systems. This was the main question, sir. Now, sir, this was chapter second question, sir. So above wala was chapter number 5 wala question. Okay, so simple answer, it's not that it is that difficult, sir, but here mostly students do not expect this type of questions in exam anyway. So what is the answer all about, sir? Before that, एक छोटा सा background I would like to give you, sir. Sir, in ERP software, we have seen various modules are there, sir. So 11 modules are discussed in our syllabus. Just show you. Yeah. So there are about 11 modules which are discussed in our syllabus. Sir, in that 11, one module which we have is finance accounting module. In all the 11 modules, one module we have is finance accounting module, sir. If you read this answer very carefully, what you will be finding is all the other modules directly or indirectly are connected with this module called finance and accounting. Correct, Anna? Sir, whatever money related aspect is happening in the company, sir, wherever module, say for example, HR modules, sales, we are paying the salary, sir. Sir, money is there here. Now, can I say wherever money related part is there, sir, last May, it has to be integrated with this module called finance accounting module. So I would also like you to show you one particular part in this, sir, which will give you a good understanding. So there you go. So one of the feature of finance accounting module is what, sir? It integrates with other modules. It integrates with other modules. So in other words, finance accounting module may we have to ensure that this module is integrated with all other modules so that information flow is happening, sir. Okay. So if you see the material, what you will be finding is key on integration we have two questions. On integration we have two questions. One specific question talks about integration of other modules with finance and accounting module, and integration of one module with another module, sir. So here this was the exam question, sir. So this was the exam question which was talking about integration of other modules with finance accounting modules, sir. So here it is integration of one module with another module, sir. So this was not the question, so let's not focus on that. Let's focus on this, sir. So what are the important points one has to take care when we have to integrate other modules with finance and accounting modules? First point, sir. Sir, can I say, sir, yeah. So master data. Now, whatever master data you create in one module, say for example, HR module may you are creating one employee master. Sir, the same type of master data should also be there in your finance and accounting module. So in other words, master data across all the modules should be same. This is rule number one. All the modules should be same and they should be shared. Now, sir, next, once you create the master data, sir, obviously you will be now passing the entries. So that is entering the transaction data. So whenever there is a common transaction data, that has to be shared with whom, sir? Other modules. For example, salary information. Now HR module may we are writing salary information, but can I say whenever you pass entry in the salary, what you say HR module, sir, immediately that should be also reflected in what you say accounting module, that is finance and accounting modules. So that is possible only if you design the system accordingly. Okay. So flow of information should be such that if a HR employee, HR manager is making an entry in the HR module, sir, automatically that entry should also be reflected in the finance and accounting modules. Okay. So second point is linked with your fourth point, sir. Second point may we are saying that, sir, common transaction data should be shared with other modules. Fourth point I am saying, sir, if at all we have to share this, so we have to design the information flow also in such manner. So one is talking about master data, second is talking about common transaction data, third is talking about design of information flows. And last, fourth point, sir, we should have separate, it's talking about voucher types. So separate vouchers types are to be used for each module, sir. So that what will happen, confusion will not be there and easy identification will be there, sir. So these are the four important points for integration of modules with finance and accounting system. So you write your 4 points and you score your 4 marks, sir. Okay. So this was chapter number 2. Then we will go with chapter number 3 wala question, sir. This was chapter number 3. For doing a business, logical access control. Okay, so here focus is on logical access control. Plays a critical role ensuring that the access to system, data and programs to safeguard against the unauthorized access. Towards this, explain logical access control. Now, if at all you apply brains, sir, here itself the answer is defined. Dekho, sir, the keywords which are supposed to be written in logical access controls are given in the question itself. So logical access controls play a critical role to ensure access to system, data, programs to safeguard against unauthorized access. Now, what is logical access control? Sir, these are system based controls. First point, sir. Why they are applied? Sir, these controls are applied to ensure that access to system, data and programs are given to only authorized users, sir. Okay. So this is what you are supposed to write. There go. Logical access controls. First, you can see they are system based controls, so, sir. These controls are implemented to ensure key access to system. Dekho, question itself is giving you the answer. Access to data, access to programs is restricted to authorized users only. Why? So that there is a safeguard from a safeguard of data system from unauthorized user, unauthorized disclosure of information, damage or losses. So they are system based. Sir, we have to ensure that role based access control is what we are providing, sir. So like this you can write many things, but here you have to also see for how many marks the question is asked. 2 plus 4 is the breakup, sir. So here for defining logical access control you will get 2 marks. So this is more than enough for 2 marks. Then you can see they are also talking about and user access management control for technical exposure. user access management control for technical exposure. Okay, so here you are supposed to define the user access management controls. So that will be giving you 4 marks. So in user access management control, we have 4 types. So ek bar, I'll just show you from the material also. So you can see logical access control. So this is a classification of IS controls we are talking about, sir. We have classified the controls into 3 categories, sir. One is based on objective, next wala based on nature of IS resource, and third is based on IS functions. Based on objective मतलब what you want, इच्छा क्या है आपकी, है ना sir? I want to ensure that wrong things should not happen. Preventive, wrong thing happened, I want to know how it happened. Detective, ensure that next time it does not happen. That is corrective, sir. Sir, here I want to protect my IS assets, sir. So for which we have environmental control, physical control, and logical control, sir. So here we are talking about logical access control. Sir, to ensure, now we had some objectives, sir. What was the objective? We wanted to ensure that our system, data, programs are accessed by only right person, sir. In other words, unauthorized person should not use it, for which we have put some system based controls. Okay, now question is how we will achieve this objective. Obviously we will achieve this objective by putting controls. So what are the controls, sir? Here we are talking about 6 controls, sir. So user access management, user responsibility, network access control, operating system, application, and mobile computing. So ICI's focus was more on user access management. Now, user access management generally, sir, whenever a customer goes to the bank for opening the bank account, sir. So, can I say bank would like to know their customer? KYC is what we are talking about, sir. We want to know or gather more information about our customers. Similarly, sir, whenever a particular employee joins the organization, directly we are going to give him the access to our system? No. So obviously we have to follow user access management points, sir. So this part is more from companies, organizations point of view, sir. User responsibility is more from the user's point of view. So for example, Mr. A is joining in the sales department of the company, sir. So what should company do to give access to this particular employee? That is what these 4 points are talking about. First, user registration. Sir, before we grant access to him, sir, first he should be registered on our systems. Okay. So you can see user registration may, sir, we should know these details. Who is the user? Sir, why he is granted the access? Sir, who is the data owner who has approved the access? And has user accepted his responsibility? What is his responsibility? Sir, next part may we would have discussed that, but anyway I am not discussing the syllabus now, only questions we are talking about, sir. User should be registered. Okay, so similarly whenever we are opening, having any user ID password on what to say, internet banking, sir. So obviously we register ourselves and then we can access it, sir. Okay, so registration, first point, sir. Next, sir, privilege management, sir. Now, sir, should we give entire access of the system to the user, or the access should be given to the extent required for him to do the work? Sir, access should be given to the extent required for him to do the work. So that is based on job requirement. This principle is called principle of least privilege, meaning giving access to the extent required. जिसको जितना होना उसको उतना देना, है ना? So ಎಷ್ಟು ಬೇಕೋ ಅಷ್ಟೇ ಕೊಡಬೇಕು. This is Karnataka, sir. కన్నడ ఐఎమ్ టాకింగ్ అబౌట్, సార్. అండ్ తెలుగు మే ఎవరికి ఎంత కావాలి అంతే యాక్సెస్ ఇవ్వాలి. దిస్ ఇస్ ప్రిన్సిపల్ ఆఫ్ లీస్ట్ ప్రివిలేజ్. దెన్ use for password management. So there should be a good policy, there should be a good policy, or there should be a proper functions for allocation of passwords, sir, for revocation of password, for reissue of password, etc. For example, can I say most of the companies, sir, they do have a policy with respect to creation of password. Special digit should be there, special character should be there, 8 digits minimum hona chahiye, sir. Okay. Similarly, they do have a password for resetting also, sir. So reset password ke liye you have to give some input, sir. That password which is resetted and will be given to you on your phone or on your email. So these are the ways, and this is all nothing but password management functions. So this is also one way of accessing or managing your user. So what we are trying to understand, how we can manage our user, sir. User access को manage करना है, sir. Okay, who will do this? Organization will do this. How they will do this? First, they have to ensure user is registered. Then privilege management concept company is following. Third, user password management company is following. And fourth is whatever access rights you have given to the user, sir, we have to review them, sir. Reason, Sir, most of the companies may we do have job role changes. So whatever access we have given initially, sir, same access is required afterwards also, maybe, may not be, sir. And so hence we have to continuously review the user rights. So these were the 4 points which you were supposed to write to score your 4 marks, sir. So again, according to me, very, very simple answer this was. And this was one important question. Okay, done. So then we have 3B. In accounting language, voucher is an evidence for transaction. Okay. How do you interpret voucher when referred to computer? Also explain 3 types of vouchers pertaining to accounting. So this is your chapter number 2 wala question. Very, very interesting question and easy question also, sir. Now, as we know, voucher has two meaning. In accounting, voucher is nothing but an evidence of a transaction. So whatever transaction has happened, uska evidence is called as voucher. But when it comes to software point of view, sir, what is voucher? Sir, voucher is the place where you are entering the data. For example, sir, I hope most of you might have used Tally, or even if you have not used, some knowledge you might be definitely having about Tally, sir. Okay, so I'll just show you. So you might have seen this gateway of Tally, sir. There you are finding something called masters. There you are finding something called transaction. Sir, in transaction, you have one word called accounting voucher. Now, can I say whenever you want to pass the entry, can I say this is the tab on which you will be pressing accounting voucher, sir. So can I say what is voucher for a software? Sir, voucher is nothing but a place where you are passing the entries. Voucher is nothing but a place where you are passing the entries. So this is what you were supposed to write. So देखो in computer language, voucher is little different when compared to your accounting language, sir. So voucher is the place where the transactions are recorded. Sir, it is a data input form for inputting the transaction. Again 1 plus 3 meaning, sir, voucher के लिए they were giving you 1 mark and 3 marks के लिए है ना, they are talking about voucher types. Now, sir, in our material, if you see accounting vouchers, है ना, there are of 9 types. There are about 9 types. Totality में, sir, 17 voucher types are discussed in our syllabus. Sir, this was little unexpected question, but okay, है ना. So again, I told you, sir, every time if expected question comes, then this would not be a CA exam. This would have been a BCom exam, sir. Okay. Now, so here, out of 17, है ना, we are talking about accounting vouchers only. In accounting vouchers, we have 9 types. So ICA is not asking you discuss all those 9 types. In that, you have to only discuss 3 vouchers. So very easily, contra voucher, you know, sir. Contra, matlab kya, sir? Where we are having reflection of cash or cash bank or bank, sir. Okay. So you can see cash deposit in the bank, we will use contra voucher. Cash withdrawal from the bank, we will use contra voucher. So cash going in the bank or cash coming out of the bank, contra voucher, sir. So cash transfer from one location to another branch we are talking about, sir. Again, we are talking about contra voucher. So one bank to another bank, again we are talking about contra voucher, sir. Then we have something called payment voucher. Then we have something called receipt vouchers. Okay, debit note, credit note. These are all different, nothing but accounting vouchers only. You could have written them, sir. Next. So this was giving you 3 marks. Great. So then we have question number 4A. ERM. So whenever there is a ERM part, so this is chapter number 1. ERM framework consists of various 6 interrelated components. Okay. So here ERM is talking about, components is talking about. Explain any 6 components of ERM framework. Now, sir, why did they use any 6? So answer is, sir, we are having 8 components of ERM. In fact, I say I should have never tested this question in this manner, sir. Sir, only 6 discussion will not solve the problem. Okay, so it's like you are watching the movie, sir. You are watching 90% of the movie and 10% you are not watching. So better would have been, even though it is for 6 marks and we were supposed to write all the 8, that would have been a full-fledged answer. Otherwise, it's only a 90% of the answer you have written. But anyway, sir, question says we have to describe only 6 components, so you can go with 6. But I do suggest also write 7th and 8th points. Now, what were those components? Simple. Sir, first you should understand what is ERM. Now for that, one beautiful video we have on our YouTube channel. You can watch that video around 30 to 35 minutes. The exclusive discussion I have made on ERM, sir. So there you will be understanding, sir, ki ERM, enterprise risk management. So here, whatever risk which company is having, sir, usko manage karna hai. Now remember, risk is an uncertain event. Now that uncertain event can come to a branch, that uncertain event can come to a company, organization. Sir, we are talking about managing organization risk and not branch related risk. So first point is, sir, here we are trying to manage whole of the organization and not departments. Second, sir, risk management means what? We have to identify the risk and also we have to identify the controls. So what could be the what could be the uncertain event which can cause problem to the organization, that also we have to find out, and how we have to ensure that this risk is within our appetite. Sir, for that we have to define the controls. So these two things is what you will be doing in ERM, sir. One is, sir, you have to identify what risk which can occur to the entire organization. Second, what steps company should do or what steps company should take to manage those risks, sir, to reduce this risk. And remember, completely 100% risk avoidance is not possible. So we have to ensure that these risks are within our appetite, sir. These risks are within our appetite. So if at all company has to do this, sir, we have to follow certain components. Some steps you can say or some components are there, sir. 8 in totality are there, sir. Our material is talking about 6. Sorry, in question it is talking about 6. So I'll just discuss this from the material, sir. So first is internal environment, sir. Now, if you can recall in main class, and a beautiful example I have taken for a word called setting up the tone. Okay, so what is setting up the tone? Sir, if company wants to really manage the risk, really want to avoid the risk, really wants to keep this risk at minimum as possible, sir. Sir, first management ka responsibility is to set up the tone at the organization level. Okay, so then objective setting, matlab what is that we want to achieve. Then we have to identify what can go wrong in the organization or event identification, sir. So those potential events, unexpected events which can have impact, we have to identify, sir. From those events, what risk can happen, so that is risk assessment. So for identified risk, what should be the response and a risk response, sir. Then we have to apply the controls. Then whatever controls have been applied, that has to be communicated, and then whatever controls have been what is say implemented, continuous monitoring is required, sir. So these were the 8 steps. Now ICA has asked you to write any of the 6. Now again, any of the 6 can be, sir, 1 2 3 you write, last 3 you find easy, that also you can write, sir. But my sincere suggestion would be, sir, better and matlab anyway you have written the answer, sir. Future may, now who is seeing this video, so obviously those people who have written the exam, and future may people are writing the exam, sir. So whenever you're writing this, ensure that 6 points detail you explain, 7th end ka just a side heading you write down, sir. Okay, now so these were those 8 points. Now, if at all you have read this concepts very well, sir. Sir, we also have something called 5 components of internal controls. Remember? So 5 components of internal controls, also called as COSO framework, sir. Okay. So there also we have 5 components of internal controls. Now, those 5 points are more or less similar to your ERM control. Anyway, so this was expected question, very important question, sir, and it is asked for 6 marks, deserving question. 4b, e-commerce runs through network connected systems which can have two types of architecture, namely 2 tier and 3 tier. Okay, so we have computer architecture of 2 tier also, 3 tier also, sir. In this context, define 3 tier architecture. So e-commerce can run on 2 tier also, 3 tier also, but however it is always advisable to have 3 tier architectures. Now 3 tier architecture matlab kya, sir? Simple hai, sir. We have something called client, that is user, and they are going to a website called Amazon, sir. Okay, sir, on client we have something called presentation tier. Presentation tier matlab this is the place where you are giving input and receiving the output, sir. Sir, Amazon, sir, this is the place where you will be having servers. So here we will be having 2 layers of server. One will maintain the application and one will maintain the databases. Okay, so This is layer number 1, this is layer number 2, this is layer number 3. So first layer is presentation tier, second layer is application tier, third layer is database tier, sir, or data tier also you can say. So these three tiers को you have to write some points and uska advantages you are supposed to write for scoring the 4 marks, right guys? So simple answer it was. Just एक बार I'll just show you from the material also. 3 tier architecture. So this was chapter number 4 questions. So you can see here 3 tier architecture. These 3 tiers you have to explain and 3 advantages also have to explain. So can I say these 3 layers are not integrated, sir? These 3 layers are independent, sir. So there is a clear separation. Dynamic load balancing is now possible. Change management, sir, is meaning, sir. If you go with what do you say? If you not go with a 3 tier architecture, sir, change management will become difficult, sir. Now you make the changes at one what do you say server, that is application server, sir. Sir, changes can be made everywhere, sir. Okay, so I took one example of IRCTC also in our regular class, also in the crash batch. Okay, so that part you can write down, sir. Okay, again, good question, sir. Next, 5A. Now entire thing and reading is very difficult, sir. Last point I want to come down, sir. Characteristics of core banking system. That's it. This was the question which was asked for 6 marks. Now, so I did not expect characteristics of core banking system to be asked for 6 marks. Maybe 2 marks के लिए that was good. 2 marks or 3 marks के लिए that was good. But okay, and 6 points are there in our material. So 6 marks it can be asked, but not that expected question this was, sir. Chaliye. So first, how to remember this answer? Sir, you have to understand the main essence of introduction of core banking system in the bank, sir. So when core banking system was not there, sir, it was all about branch banking. Meaning, sir, branch number 1 used to have all the details of the customers. So if this customer goes to branch number 2 and that branch has no details about it, sir. So in other words, whatever software was used, that was used only at that branch level. Whatever data was there, that data of customer was only at that branch level, sir. So hence we used to say customer was more branch specific rather than bank specific. So he was the customer of the branch and not the customer of the bank. But sir, then comes something called core banking system. What we have done, we have created one centralized data center. In that centralized data center, we have a common application software and common databases. Now this application and database is used by all the branches. This CDC, centralized data center, is accessed by all the branches, sir. All mobile apps, टेलीफोन बैंकिंग, एवरीथिंग इज कनेक्टेड टू दिस सेंट्रलाइज्ड डेटा सेंटर. Okay, so इससे क्या होगा sir? Now can I say every branch will have details about the customers. Okay, so now are you with the introduction, and this infrastructure is what I mean by core banking system, sir. So where you find common database, where you find common application software. So in simple bhasha mein I used to say also this, sir. ERP, what is ERP for manufacturing companies or service company is core banking system for banking company. So CBS is equal to ERP. Only difference is what, sir? ERP is not used by banks. Other than banks, every organization uses ERP, sir. But if it is a bank, है ना, that specialized ERP is called as core banking systems. So that understanding if you have, then writing characteristic is very easy, sir. So keywords, let's understand, sir. Core banking system, obviously centralized banking application software it is providing. First point, sir. Sir, it is giving you common data base and common data, a common application software, sir. Agreed. Next, sir, this software is developed in parts, so it is modular in nature, sir. Fourth, all branches of banks are acting as now mere delivery channel, sir. Fifth wala, sir, all branches ko it is interconnecting. Mobile apps say it is interconnecting, ATM say it is interconnecting, sir. So obviously it is not having chiller technology, it is using advanced level technology. Agreed? Yes, sir. It can integrate your bank application also with third party application. For example, Google Pay, Phone Pay, correct hai na? Sir, these are third party applications, but still they are integrated with our banking application. And with the introduction of CBS, you are no more customer of the branch, you are the customer of the bank. देखो, due to CBS, customer becomes the customer of the bank and not only the customer of the branch. Simple answer. So 6.6 marks के लिए beautiful question this was. Next, laddu question I can say 5B. Now, last two attempts से I was continuously telling to students कि भैया this is a very important question, very important question. And this exam mein it has turned out. So again, all this mobile apps are commonly used by all for all doing the electronic transaction. A mobile website works for all. So here in this context, explain four modules in mobile websites, or you can say mobile apps. Okay, so again, this is a chapter 4 question. So chapter 4 where we are talking about e-commerce. So if you can recall, this is a question called components of e-commerce. Okay, now this entire question ka video is available on YouTube channel, sir. Around 1 hour ka video it is. If you are interested, please go through that. And detailedly I have discussed the entire answer, sir. Now, to perform e-commerce transactions, sir, 6 components are playing an important role. First, sir, if you want to buy online, obviously user should be agreed. First point is user. Now user have to buy online, so obviously he should have internet, sir. Agreed. Third, sir, then he has to buy online, matlab there should be something called website, web portal should be there, sir. Agreed. On that web portal, can I say various what do you say, hardware, software, etc. should be there. We have to develop the software, that is nothing but technology should be there, sir. Sir, then when we buy, obviously we have to make the payment, so there should be defined mode of making the payment, that is called payment gateways. So payment gateways can be various modes through which you can make the payment, sir. Next, sir, I am buying, so somebody should be selling also, no? So that person is called e-commerce vendor. Now, e-commerce vendor, so this is from e-commerce vendor's point of view. Sir, that e-commerce vendor example could be Amazon. Sir, this e-commerce vendor has to take care of various aspects, in which one of the aspect, so that e-commerce vendor has to take care of various. Now can I say e-commerce vendor is the seller? Okay, e-commerce vendor is the seller. Now Amazon sometimes sell their own products. So there are other vendors also who are selling products on Amazon. For example, our books are listed on Amazon, so I am also e-commerce vendor. Sometimes Amazon sell their own products, so Amazon is also e-commerce vendor. Okay, sir, in technology infrastructure we are focusing on one part called what, sir? Mobile apps. Can I say mobile apps also nowadays we are able to do commerce activity, that is mobile commerce we are talking about. In that mobile apps, what points we have to take care? So technology infrastructure mein, we are talking about mobile apps, sir. So mobile app is a software which will be running on mobile devices, and this is more or less like called mobile website. Now in mobile app or mobile website includes the following modules. Okay, so these are the 5 modules which are there on mobile apps. It's simple. Whenever you open the mobile app, whatever you see at the start, that is nothing but mobile store front modules. Can I say what you are able to see? Sir, we are able to see catalogs of various products, various services, uska price, photos, etc, sir. That is nothing but mobile store front modules. Next, sir, we have to also try to attract the customers. Okay, so some promotional games will be played, sir. Can I say most of the time you will be finding that spinning wheel, sir. So why we create that spinning wheel? If you see cred bounty है ना, so there will be a game which will be played where you will be finding what's the rolling happening, sir. Why do all we do this, sir? Sir, we want to engage the customer, we want to ensure that customer, sir, comes to our app very frequently, sir, है ना. So this is mobile ticketing module through which this is happening, sir. So it is linked with the promotional sites of commercial transaction and enable vendor to attract customers by distributing vouchers, coupons, tickets, playing games, etc. So the main focus of mobile ticketing module is to engage the customer, to ensure that he is there on our mobile app, or can say mobile website also, as long as possible, sir. Then we have something called mobile advertisements. So there exclusively, like what is the example also I have taken in my video class, you can just go through. And then if at all customer is having any problem, so there should be some support also, sir. So that part is talked about customer support and information module. and then payment के लिए mobile banking sir. So these are the 5 modules in mobile apps. So here he is only talking about any 4 because 4 marks के लिए it is asked sir. Great. So 5B में we had one internal choice. So this was chapter 4 question. Now again there is a chapter 4 question which is talking about Internet of Things. So can I say here things के ऊपर we are putting the internet sir. So Internet of Things can be used on various areas, sir. There they are talking about smart city and healthcare, sir. So how you can use Internet of Things for healthcare, how you can use Internet of Things for creating a smart city, sir. So can I say dustbin, what do you say, managing the total waste के लिए we used an example of dustbin also, sir. Okay. So government can use IoT, sir, for better water distribution, traffic management, power management के लिए smart grid they can use, smart governance है ना. So these are different ways of using IoT for creating a smart city, sir. Similarly it can be used also for healthcare. Very simple question, sir. Again this was 4 marks, so obviously 2 marks for this part, sir. So this was your short and sweet EIS paper. I hope you liked the review for EIS, sir. Okay, now very fast I will also review what you say SM paper, and last May will conclude the paper, sir. So we are talking about section B, question number 6, which is a compulsory question, and this is very lengthy essay type questions. Okay, let's see. So this is a case study. This is a compulsory question for your exam, sir. So you can see this is 5 marker question, sir. Let's see. Paramount group of companies, and remember this you have to read. Okay, so for EIS I do not suggest you to read entire part, sir. Last part also if you see, you will more or less understand the questions, but SMA you have to read the entire part. So there is a group of company Paramount, sir. It is having a strong footprint in different sectors, it seems, aviation, etc, etc. Okay, processes, technology and marketing capabilities are different for each business, obviously, sir. Sir, aviation may what process we will not use in the healthcare, sir. So obviously the way they do the marketing, technology they use, processes they have will be obviously different for different areas, sir. However, each business operates among a group of rivals that produce competing products. Obviously, can I say each group will have their competitors. So if you are in healthcare, so obviously you will have some competitor of another healthcare also. Yes, understandable. So by this time, what you should have understood, there is a group of companies. That group of companies are into various business areas. In those business areas, they are having different processes, technology, and for each area, they have their own competitor. Great. So now this company wants to get ahead of competition and to contribute for the sustained competitive advantage. Company intention is to improve customer service and increase the market share. To achieve this, so whatever action and whatever company has defined, for that this is the action, sir. So company is trying to analyze its product, its processes and its service level for each of the segments. Now, sir, to do this analysis, what did company do, sir? Company is studying various trade publications, understanding taste and preferences of customers, meeting with the suppliers and also other relevant information accessible. This accessible in the public domain for each of its business. So in other words, they are trying to gain knowledge about their own products, processes, etc. So what people are thinking about their products, processes, etc. After studying, so after gaining this entire knowledge, company wants to compare diverse range of practices and processes being followed by acknowledged leaders. Acknowledged leaders, matlab best players in the market, sir, in the industry. So they want to first try to find out, then measure its own productivity and identify the gaps. In other words, so they want to find out who are the market leaders, then those market leaders say they want to compare their practices, and then if any gaps are there they want to identify instead of following the bricks and mortar. Now bricks and mortar means traditional practice. Now this word traditional was not given in the question paper, I have introduced in our this thing, sir. So instead of following the traditional practices, company will be setting up the goals. So they want to set up the goals to be achieved for improvement in its products, processes and services based on best practices being followed by the companies on regular practice. Identify the strategic tool to be used by Paramount group of companies. Also explain in brief common elements used in using. Sir, if you see this question, what is the company doing, sir? The company is saying that we are into various business areas. Sir, we are having competition in all the areas. We want to get ahead of competition. We want to increase our market share. Hence, we want to understand where the problems are. We want to find out who is the best. Sir, compare our practices with the best, and any gaps are there, we want to fill it, sir, because we want to increase our market share and also stay ahead in competition. So what strategic tool company should do to do all these things? Now, sir, SMA, we have 8 chapters. Now, as a student, it becomes very difficult for us to identify where exactly this question is sitting. Okay, so there comes the importance of practical study. So if at all student is only having theoretical knowledge, but defied all the concepts, sir, and sir, it becomes very difficult for him to put that answer into this scenario. So you can say it is a scenario based question or case study based question. So now you have to find out which chapter first. Can I say strategic tools are discussed in chapter number 8? Sir, in old syllabus, we used to have various tools like benchmarking was there, BPR was there, Six Sigma was there, TQM was there, sir. Sir, in new syllabus, we have two tools which are discussed in our syllabus, BPR and benchmarking, sir. Now, if you can see BPR, sir, it focuses on what? Killing the entire process and redefining the process again. Company is not doing such type of activities where it is completely killing the entire process and redefining it. Instead, what company is trying to do, they are trying to find out who is the best. Then with that best, they are trying to compare their practices and then they are trying to improve. So this type of thing we do in one activity called benchmarking. So identify the strategic tool. For that, you will get 1 mark, sir. And to implement the strategic tool, sir, you have to follow some common elements or steps. So now you have to describe those steps, sir, which are these 6 points, sir. So you have to describe them, for which you will be getting your balance 4 marks. Okay. So what is benchmarking? Benchmarking is nothing but best industry practice, sir. So this is the practice against which a company is going to compare, measure, analyze their processes with the best industry practices, sir, for better monitoring and controls, sir. So is say what will happen, sir, we will be able to identify the gaps. So what are the 6 elements, sir? First you find out why you require benchmarking, sir. Okay, so here company has the answer for that why. Sir, we want to improve the customer service, we want to increase the market share. So that is the reason why company wants benchmarking. Next, sir, clearly understand existing decision processes. So existing processes kya hai, sir? So first you try to understand, then identify the best processes, sir. So here it is said that company has identified, sir. Then fourth, compare your process with the best, sir. Then you will find out gap. So prepare a report and identify the gap. And now you try to take corrective actions to fill that gap. That is evaluation. Okay. So simple answer tha. So here challenge was only to identify which question this was. So students may be confused between BPR and benchmarking, sir. So this answer was with respect to benchmarking, sir. 7A. Good health is an association of person providing awareness to downtrodden on immunization, vaccination, sanitation, and other health and hygiene issues. It is a non-profit organization. Very good. It's a non-profit organization working in coordination with hospital, medical support centers, and local administration. You are asked to take over the organization. Acha, you are asked to take over the organization. Matlab, now you have to be the management of this company, sir. Identify whether the concept of SM is relevant. Now, can I say this is your chapter number 1 question? So this was your chapter number 8 question, sir. Okay. So in chapter number 1, we have whether SM is required for only profit making companies or SM is also required for non-profit organizations, sir. So there we have understood, sir, businesses can be profit oriented, non-profit oriented. Even you are a non-profit oriented business, can I say these companies do have vision, these companies do have mission, sir. This company wants to achieve their objectives. These companies are operating in the business environment which is highly dynamic, sir. This company wants to raise finance. So when all these things are there, obviously that can be achieved only by following SM, sir. So hence conclusion was that even a non-profit organization should follow the concept of strategic management, sir. Right? So this is what entirely it is written, sir. So you can see even non-profit companies do have purpose, vision, mission. Sir, they have to work within the environment. Sir, they have to meet their goals. They have to manage the funds. है ना? So hence it can be concluded that SM is required for both profit and non-profit, sir. So this was just to identify whether the concept of SM is relevant. And if so, basic activities you have to perform in better. Now, can I say here they are performing in healthcare industry, sir. So what they could do, sir? So healthcare के लिए they could have a better ambulance service, use IT, sir, have better pathological laboratories, nothing but diagnostic centers we are talking about, sir, collect door-to-door samples. So this way they can ensure that they provide better services to their customers. Okay. So mobile apps also they can use internet in their business, online consultancies you can provide. So these are the various strategies which this company can follow to ensure that they are able to attract more and more people, sir. Remember, even though I use the word not for profit, that doesn't mean they can't make profits. This is simple. Section 8 company. Now, most of the students say that Section 8 company is a non-profit organization, non-profit organ. Agreed. But remember, it doesn't mean they will not earn profit. They may earn the profit. Only thing is what, sir, members of the company should not enjoy the profits. So whatever profits they are earning, sir, again they have to invest in the business only for attainment of objectives. Okay. So sometimes even though non-profit company you are, you may achieve profits, sir. So thing is what, you have to again plow back the profit into the business. Okay. Anyway, so that was the answer. 7B. It is imperative to segregate top level strategies into viable functional plans and policies. Okay, meaning whatever top level strategies are there, we have to break that into functional plans and policies. Do you agree with this statement? Support your answer with reason. It's simple. Sir, I always used to take this example, sir. One big dosha, can you eat totally? Answer is no. So that dosha ko you have to divide into parts. Agreed? Then that each part becomes digestible. Similarly, sir, when you develop something called corporate level strategy at organization level, as it is, it cannot be implemented, sir. Now you have to break down into parts. Sir, first part is business level strategy. Sir, then at functional part, functional level, each level pay you are dividing it to, sir, that is nothing but your functional level strategy. Agreed? So can I say now your corporate strategy becomes practically achievable? Now Hannah, business level strategy will get a support from what, sir? Your functional strategy. So this is your functional level strategy, sir. So question here is what, sir? Sir, is it compulsory that top level strategies has to be broken down into functional level strategies? Answer is yes. Agreed. So without that, practically achieving is not possible, sir. So whatever targets your corporate strategy or business level strategies are having, achieving will become difficult, sir. Impossible. Sir, company will have too many people, sir. And what these people have to do, there will be no clarity if what is not there, functional level strategies is not there, sir. So all those employees का clarity के लिए we should define something called functional level strategies. Individual department strategies they are. So in material, if you can recall, we have about 6 functional strategies which are discussed in chapter number 6, sir. Agreed. So 6 functional strategies में marketing you have, production you have, HR you have, R&D you have, है ना? So then उसके बाद you have finance. So these were and then logistics and SCM. So these are those 6 strategies, functional strategies which are discussed in our syllabus. But anyway, all that is not asked. Here the point is, do you agree with this statement कि such breaking down is required? Answer is yes. So sir, here you can write the justification. If for F, see, formulation is done by corporate strategy, but that has to be translated into operational plans, because whatever you write and top level strategies, whatever is written, sir, that as it is, it cannot be achieved. You have to break down into parts. So if you want to effectively implement strategist has to provide direction to whom, sir? Functional managers. Obviously, for each functional strategy, you will have something called functional manager. Under that, many people will perform, sir. So what should functional manager do for that functional strategies is required, sir? So functional strategies plays an two important role. First, it provides support to overall business strategies, and next, it will tell functional manager what to do, how to do, sir. Agreed. Other reasons, functional strategy lay down clearly what is to be done. Obviously, sir, what is to be done and how is to be done, functional strategies clarity will be given, sir. So they will bring harmony, coordination with other strategies. They will help the functional managers in handling various functional situations, sir. So these are some justifications which you are supposed to write, sir, which will help you in seeking your 1 plus 4 marks of 5, sir. Next, 8A, XYZ Limited is an automobile company that offers diversified products for all customer segments. Due to COVID-19, the changes took place in the economy, forced the company to change its strategy. Oh, ho, ho, ho. Okay, so there is one company which is into automobile. They are having diversified products for different customer segments. But because of COVID-19, so some environmental influences has happened, sir, which has forced the company to change its strategy. For example, sir, we were earlier used to take face-to-face classes, sir. Sir, COVID happened. Some changes has happened in the what to say market. Now we are forced to take online classes. In the same manner, है ना, we also change the strategy. Company is also changing the strategy. Being the CEO of the company, what stages you will follow? Stages. What is the word used, sir? Stages you will for follow for developing and executing the new strategy. So for developing the strategy and executing the strategy, what are the steps you should follow, sir? Stages you should follow, sir. So here you have to remember the concept is strategic change. Now, एक बार I would like to bring that to your note. Sir, strategic change में you have two questions, sir. One is steps to initiate strategic change. One is steps to initiate strategic change, and second is Kurt Lewin change process, which is talking about different phases or different stages. Okay, so what is that you are supposed to write, sir? Sir, question क्या था, sir? What was the question now? Yes, is required. Sir, they are talking about what stages will you follow for developing and executing, sir? मतलब whether change is required or not, that is steps to initiate strategic change. Sir, if the answer is yes, then we follow something called Kurt Lewin change process. So here, sir, company has decided to change, sir. And now, what are the stages company should follow to bring the change? Now here you are supposed to write Kurt Lewin change process ka 3 points. One is unfreeze. Unfreeze matlab whatever is your existing practice that you have to stop. You have to tell to all the people that we are about to start the new practice, because whenever you bring the change, that should not be a surprise to all the people. Unfreeze. Next, we have to change, meaning, sir, now we have to accommodate to the new situation, sir. Sir, to accommodate, है ना, we have somebody called Hesse Kellen. Sir, he has given you three ways of accommodating the change. One is internalize, identification, internalization, and compliance. So identification में we will be identifying some role models, and then we will be telling to people देखो भाई, है ना, so we will be making people to follow those role models, sir. In this way we are changing, sir. Internalization मतलब क्या, sir? We are systematically, slow and steadily adopting to the new environment, sir. Compliance मतलब strictly we will say that भैया you have to follow the new things, stop the old things, otherwise है ना punishment will be given, sir. So these are the different ways of bringing the changes, sir. And then refreezing मतलब whatever change which is implemented now, that you have to make a part and parcel of your life, sir. That is, it should be systematically followed in the future, sir. So this is refreezing, sir. So these are the three stages to ensure that है ना you are मतलब these are the three stages which you should follow to what you say change from your old strategy to new strategies. Strategic change. Kurt Lewin change process is what you are supposed to write here, sir. 5 marks answer this was. 8b. Due to reoccurrence of various variants of corona. Now, can I say this entire question paper is only about corona only, sir? So, coronavirus LMN is facing unstable environment, and it has started unbundling and disintegrating its activities, sir. Meaning, slow and steady, है ना, they are coming, मतलब decreasing their businesses, sir. It is also it also started relying on outside vendor for performing these activities. So earlier they were doing it on their own. Now they are outsourcing this to some independent parties. Identify the organization structure. Now organization structure के लिए we have chapter number 7. Various types of organization structures are discussed, sir. Here the point is which organization structure you should follow, sir. Now, sir, if at all concept clarity is there, directly you will tell the answer. But agar nahi hai na, so what student can do, sir? First, try to find out how many structures you have studied. So can I say you have something called simple organization structure? Obviously, not meeting the criteria. Functional, not meeting the criteria. Divisional, sir, all people are our own employees, but here they are relying on outsiders, sir. Again, divisional nahi chalega. Sir, multi-divisional nahi chalega, sir. Sir, then we have matrix structure. Again, we have permanent and flexible, sir. Again, वो भी नहीं चलेगा. SBU नहीं चलेगा, sir. Sir, then we have hourglass structure. Here we are not talking about what you say we're not talking about introduction of information technology, sir, है ना? So only structure what we have now is what, sir? Your network structure, sir. So network structure में, sir, network structure is also called as non-structure. Reason, sir, all the people who are doing work on our behalf, they are not our employees, sir. These are all our contract people, sir, है ना? So we are outsourcing the work to these people, and these people are doing this work on our behalf, sir. Obviously we will be giving some amount, sir, and the thing is what, when we have work, then only we will contact them, otherwise we are not contact. So network structure is very very beautiful structure in case it is an unstable environment, and it is very flexible also, sir. What do you mean by flexibility? If you do not want to continue this business, easily you can close and you can go to new businesses. So can I say, in the current situation also, we are finding that market is unstable, sir. Hence, sir, we are going for outsourcing, sir. And tomorrow if market becomes stable, then we may shift it. So can I say, in that case, sir, to avoid unnecessary costs, company can go with what you say, network structures, sir. Okay, so here you are supposed to write all the points of network structure. So one of the weakness of network structure is what, sir? This, if there is no proper coordination between all the people in the network, then it becomes very difficult. Okay, so that answer you are supposed to mention there, sir. Network structure. 9a, strategy formulation and implementation are intertwined, है ना? मतलब they are connected and linked with each other. Elucidate this statement with suitable arguments. Again, this is your chapter number 8 wala question, where you have formulation and implementation related points. Sir, in our materials, if you can see, you will be finding that there is a question called difference between formulation and implementation. Now, sir, if at all student go through that question, now what they will understand ki formulation, implementation generally are not one and the same, they are different. Obviously, if they are same, then why we will differentiate between them, sir? We would have not done that. Okay, this is what one part of students ka understanding is, which is fair enough, great, sir. But you have to understand ki why that point of differences was given. See, generally what we find is ki in most of the companies, formulation is done today, implementation is not done immediately. Implementation may be done over a period of time, sir. For example, you define the strategy today, after months you are going to implement it, sir. Then we can say there is a suitable time gap between formulation and implementation, sir. Okay, sir, but practical world way, generally we don't find any time gap between formulation and implementation. Generally both happen more or less in the same time only, sir. Formulation, we formulate the strategy and we implement the strategies. Okay, so now comes your original answer, sir. It is to be noted that division of strategic management into different forces. Division of strategic management into different phases. What is different phases? Vision, mission, goals, objectives, formulation, implementation, evaluation. Phases is only for the purpose of orderly study, sir. Okay. In real life, formulation, implementation process is intertwined with each other, sir. Okay. And how they are done? With the help of forward linkage, with the help of backward linkage, sir. Okay, so here you are supposed to write the concept of forward linkage and backward linkage. Forward linkage matlab kya? You are defining the strategy based on what, sir? Your new organization structure, etc, sir. Backward linkage matlab kya? You are defining the strategy considering your past, sir. Okay, this is simple. Here company may have, sir, एक organization structure, company may have एक organization culture, company may have एक leader, sir. Sir, if at all company is formulating a strategy considering them, then this is backward linkage. Sir, if company is preparing a strategy, है ना, thinking that these all things are not there, but we are trying to do this for the future, sir, then that is back forward linkage. Okay. So forward linkage is like BPR, sir, where we are defining entire thing for the first time. We are not considering anything of the present, sir. Okay, that is forward linkage. Very detailedly in our regular class we have seen, sir. Here a concept introduction I have given you, sir. Okay, so by looking at this explanation, do not judge my explanation, sir. Sir, in regular class, very detailedly we have done this concept, sir. So here you are supposed to write forward linkage and backward linkage, sir. Okay, now 9b. there are four specific criteria of sustainable competitive advantage. So what is competitive advantage, sir? You are staying ahead in competition, sir. You have something better when compared to your competitor, sir. Okay, so that is competitive advantage. So if you want to have competitive advantage, obviously company should have resources and capabilities. Though the word used is capabilities, but in material you will find company should have good resources, that capabilities which helps in company in getting the competitive advantage. But those resources and capabilities should also have some characteristics, sir. Those are nothing but four specific criteria. So here they are supposed, matlab we are supposed to write what are those four specific criteria. So if a company wants to have sustainable competitive advantage, then company ka resource and capabilities should have these four elements or four characteristics. What are those? Durability, long lastingness, sir, and should not get faded away in the short time, sir. Transferability should be there or should not be there, sir? It should not be there. Then and you will have sustainable competitive advantage. Imitation, copying, sir, should happen or should not happen? Should not happen. If imitability is not there, then you will have sustainable competitive advantage. Appropriability, matlab capability of appropriation, division, sir, should be there or should not be there, sir? Yes. So these are the 4 points and which will ensure whether company has sustainable competitive advantage or not, sir. So these are the four specific areas you are supposed to write. So this is your chapter number 2. Next, ABC Steel Limited find out that its products have reached at maturity stage and already has over capacity. Therefore, it concentrates on maintaining operational efficiency. Identify the strategies. So, which strategy company is implementing now? So, this is your chapter number corporate level strategies is chapter number 4. Okay. So, this is your chapter number 4. There you will be studying different corporate level strategies defined by Gluick and Jock. Sir, there you will be finding stability strategy, expansion strategy, retrenchment strategy. Now here company is not reducing the size. Sir, company still maintains operational efficiency. Company has attained at maturity stage, sir. So better company go for something called stability strategy. Okay. So I'll just show you why I am saying that stability strategy should be accepted. देखो. So stability strategy characteristics क्या है sir? Sir, company wants to improve, but it focuses only on operational efficiency, sir. And so it does not want breakthrough improvement. It wants incremental improvement, sir. In our case also, company is focusing on operational efficiency. Next, sir, company does not want to redefine the business. Here also, company does not want to redefine the business. Company is having a matured business, sir. Here also in the question you can see. अच्छा वो क्वेश्चन पेपर ही बंद हो गया. Yeah. So here also you can see, sir, company has already reached maturity position, sir. So can I say all these points are saying that company should go for something called stability strategies. Okay. So you are supposed to write all these points, sir. So this was 5 marker question, sir. Great. What do you understand by the word diversification? Can I say for the first time we are seeing a direct question? Sir, till now I did not find any direct question, sir. Sir, all were either scenario based or case based, sir. So this is the only direct question which is found in this question paper. What do you mean by diversification? Distinguish between concentric and conglomerate, sir. So if you can recall, sir, we have 4 ways of what is say corporate strategies. Sir, one is stability, expansion, retrenchment, combination. So expansion is possible by intensification, by diversification, by mergers, and by strategic alliance. So here our focus is on expansion by diversification. So what is diversify? Diversify matlab you are going to the new horizons. So diversification is one way of expansion, sir. Agreed? So this diversification can be done related or unrelated means, sir. Okay, sir. Again, you have 4 ways of diversification discussed in our material, sir. You can see horizontal diversification, vertical diversification, concentric, and conglomerate. So here focus is more on what, sir? Concentric and conglomerate. So conglomerate का मतलब क्या sir? Unrelated. It is completely unrelated with your existing business. Okay, so that type of diversification is conglomerate, sir. So company is adding a new business which has no relevance with their existing business. Conglomerate, sir. But concentric, company is adding a new business, company is adding a new product which is somewhere related to their existing business, sir. Then that is concentric, sir. Okay, so I hope you are able to understand, sir. So direct question, 5 marks, very easy, sir. The bargaining power of supplier determines an industry's attractiveness and profitability. Again, chapter number 5. So this was chapter number 5, which was business level strategies, sir. Okay, so if you can recall, Michael Porter said that there are 5 forces of competition, in which one of the force is bargaining power of suppliers, sir. Now, sir, when will supplier have a high bargaining power? First point, sir, when market में few suppliers are there. So when market में few suppliers are there, supplier will have high bargaining power. Or suppliers are many, but there are only one or two suppliers who are offering you specialized products. So if a supplier is offering a specialized product, or if the market में few suppliers are there, sir, then supplier का bargaining power will be very very high, sir, है ना? So this determines that, है ना, supplier will have higher bargaining power, and industry attractiveness and profitability will also be affected, sir. Okay, so this is what you are supposed to write for that 5 marks, sir. So supplier can influence the profitability of industry, sir, when, sir, when their products are crucial to the buyer, sir. Matlab, for a buyer only this supplier can, matlab, for a buyer only this supplier ka product is useful, any other supplier ka product is of no use, sir, है ना? Or high switching cost. For that one beautiful example we have taken in regular class, sir. So or there are more concentrated with, or they are more concentrated than their buyers. In other words, concentrated matlab they are lesser compared to their buyers. So I told you, when supplier will have high bargaining power when they are providing specialized products, or when suppliers are very very few, or sir, if you want to switch the supplier, and a high switching cost you have to pay, sir. This case supplier will have more bargaining power, and they can affect the industry's profitability and attractiveness. Okay, so with this, we conclude your SMK analysis also, sir. Okay. Now, what are the concluding remarks? Very quickly, sir. Sir, EIS में what we have observed now, including this attempt I'm talking about, last 3 attempts, no flowchart questions were tested, sir. Okay. In fact, if flowchart question comes, it is very easy for student to score that easily 6 marks, sir. But it's okay. And no flowchart questions was tested for last 3 attempts, including this attempt I'm talking about. Now, sir, most of the questions which were asked in the exam, they were not A category questions. For example, chapter number 4 mein, sir, virtualization is there, grid computing is there, cloud computing is there, biod is there, sir, green IT is there. Sir, we have something called, what do you say, web 3.0, 4.0. So there were various questions, and which could have been tested, sir. Okay, then uh, those were not, sir. We have, what do you say, latest amendment which was blockchain, and we were having that bitcoin wala cryptocurrency wala answer also, sir, e-rupee also. So there were various new topics which could have been tested, sir, but they were not asked, sir. Okay, so mostly you can say A category questions, cream questions were not tested, sir. Unexpected questions were too many in this exams. For EIS I'm talking about. All in all, sir, questions were very very easy, and all the questions were direct, sir. So quality of questions, if you ask me, it was pure average, sir. Okay, so the person who has set it up the paper did not apply his brains to the maximum, sir, where he could have made things complicated for the students. Very very simple questions he has drafted, simple questions, and easy answers. Very easily you can score this, what you say, marks, sir. Now, sir, for every attempt I do prepare probable questions. Okay, so people who follow me might be knowing about this. So I do prepare my probable questions, sir. If at all you can compare them, okay, I'll just also tell you where exactly you can find those questions. So this is our blog, sir. Praveen-Jain.blogspot.in. So last latest blog is with respect to those probable questions only. Okay, so you can click on that, and a password is PJ classes. You can find out. Now, based on my this thing, sir, what I found was in EIS, sir, 25 marks were exactly from our probable question. Sir, total paper is for 50 marks. Now again, 50 marks may remember 15 marks is choice. So you have to write 35 marks only, but paper is for 50 marks, sir. Okay, remaining 15 is your MCQs. Okay, so in that 50, 25 marks ka questions were from our probable question. Okay, now sir, still if some students want to compare, sir, you can do this by in this manner, sir. Sir, in all the questions, remember, wherever black part is there, that means this was not forming part of our probable question. But wherever green color part is there, sir, this is our probable question ka part, sir. So this 2 marks is probable question ka part. So question number 1b, what is operating system? Functions performed by operating system. Probable question. So wherever green color part is there in the question, sir, that is nothing but forming part of our probable questions. Wherever a black part was there, this was not forming part of our probable question. Like 5a, I did not give this in probable question, sir. 5b, yes, this was forming part of our probable question. So this is the way in which you can find out. Same goes with SM also. Okay, now sir, however, SMA, my point of view is thoda different, sir. So where I said quality of questions is very, very average, mediocre, sir. But in the same manner, if you see what you say, quality of questions in EIS, sir, excellent. Okay, so whoever was a paper setter, he has applied his fullest brains and to make this question paper as confusing as possible for the students, sir. Reason, sir, no questions were direct except one or two questions. You did not find any questions which were direct, sir. Okay, so as a student, if you read pure theory, sir, and do not know where how to apply in the practicality, it becomes very difficult for you to score your marks in SM paper, sir. So case study question, that is question number 1, where we were talking about what to say, either it is which tool, strategic tool we are talking about, sir. So that was bit tricky. So people who have conceptual knowledge would definitely write, others will find it very difficult, sir. So all the questions were scenario based, situation based. In other words, indirect questions were tested more, sir. And all these indirect questions requires practical understanding, sir. So A category questions were properly tested. So here you will not find sudden surprise has come, or the questions which you never expected has not come. So one chapter, chapter number 3 may vision, mission, strategic intent, goals, objectives. Generally, these are every time repeated questions in exam, but this attempt you did not find anything from chapter number 3. That was a surprise, but anyway, that is understandable, sir. 8 chapters may say we have to take 50 marks, so it be difficult for us to ask. Maybe in MCQs they might have tested from chapter number 3, sir. Okay. Compared to EIS, paper was bit lengthy. Okay, so you can see there are too many points you have to write for securing the marks, so it was bit lengthy compared to EIS, sir. Quality of questions are excellent, and when you compare this SM part with our probable questions, you will find that 35 marks was exactly, sir. Okay, so there 35, here 25, so we are talking about 60 marks. Okay, out of your 100 marks, again this is including choice I am talking about. Okay, which was a decent thing. If at all student have gone through those probable questions, you should have cracked this exam very easily. MCQs based on student feedback were easy. Again, if at all you find it differently, or if you can recall any MCQ, sir, put it in the comment section so that it will be useful for future students. So this obviously will be given by those people who have written the answers, sir, written the paper, sir. Now, so chapter wise analysis, sir. If you can see May 22, this is the breakup, sir. So chapter 1 may say 9 marks question, chapter 2 may say 8 marks, 8 marks, 12, 12. So more or less the trend which was there for past exam, same trend is continued for May 22 also, sir. So it was not a shocker. Chapter 1 generally comes for 9 to 10 marks only. This time also it is like that only. So strategic management, maybe 8 chapters are there, sir. You can find questions were tested from all the chapters excluding chapter number 3. So again, that vision, mission, goals, objectives I'm talking about. Except that chapter, sir, it was tested from everything. But for the first time, you can see in any attempt, sir, chapter number 8 came for 15 marks. So 5 into 5 into 3. 3 questions of 5 marks were asked from this particular chapter, sir, which was a bit surprising. And instead of that, they should have asked one question from this part, but it's okay. Okay, that is understandable. So this was your paper pattern also, sir. So any subject related videos, please follow our YouTube channel, sir. You will be definitely be what you say, getting quality content at our YouTube channel. So these are our links and QR scan codes for easy reference. And if at all you want the copy of this particular handout which I am using as a suggested answer, sir, you can always ask that, sir, you just ping me on this WhatsApp number 720-783-2744 and just write your name, place from where you are, and request. That is key. I want this particular handout or suggested answers. We will find it very, very, what do you say? We will be very happy to provide the copy of the same, sir. Okay. So any Google Drive classes with respect to CA final or what do you say, CA inter or CS executive, sir. So you can always ask us. So at the end of this material, I have also incorporated all my demo lectures, okay, for CA final, CS inter, CA inter, CS executive. So all those demo videos available on our YouTube channel, sir, so that easily by scanning this QR code, you can see the subject wise videos, sir. Okay. So thank you very much. I hope you all have done very well for your exam. Hoping for the positive results. फिर मिलेंगे चलते चलते, sir. Thank you very much.